Greetings, curious minds. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Albert Explains, a series dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of our modern world through the eyes of a very special guest. Now, I know what you're thinking. Albert? As in Einstein, but he's... Well, yes, about that. Let's just say I have the unique privilege, or perhaps the dubious honour, of playing host to a certain spirited intellect. You see, I'm what one might call a medium, and residing within the recesses of my mind, eager to share his wisdom and anxieties, is none other than the brilliant, the enigmatic Albert Einstein. Don't worry, he assures me he's quite harmless, mostly. But when it comes to matters of science and technology, let's just say his passions run deep. So deep, in fact, that they tend to, well, rattle around inside my head until I give them voice. And today, those passionate thoughts revolve around a topic that touches every corner of our lives: the internet. Now, before we delve into the potential pitfalls of our digital utopia, it's important to first grasp the sheer magnitude of what we're dealing with. The internet, in its relatively short lifespan, has fundamentally reshaped our world. It's become the backbone of global communication, a boundless repository of information, and a driving force behind countless technological advancements. From the mundane to the extraordinary, the internet has woven itself into the very fabric of modern existence. But this unprecedented interconnectedness, while undeniably remarkable, also presents us with a unique set of challenges. When billions of minds, each with their own motivations and desires, converge on a single digital platform, the potential for both progress and peril grows exponentially. And as we'll soon discover, the very structure of the internet, while designed with noble intentions, may inadvertently be amplifying these risks. So, buckle up, dear viewers, as we embark on this journey guided by the spectral insights of Albert Einstein. Together, we'll explore the intricate workings of the internet, its profound impact on society, and the pressing need for a more secure and equitable digital future. Albert here, or rather Albert's thoughts, echoing through this rather accommodating medium. Now, when we speak of the internet, we're not talking about some singular monolithic entity. It's not a tangible thing you can touch like a radio or a telephone. It's far more abstract, far more, well, ethereal, you might say. Imagine, if you will, a vast web spun across the globe, connecting countless points of light. Each point represents a computer, a server, a device capable of sending and receiving information. And the threads that bind them? Those are the networks, the pathways along which data travels at the speed of light. Some networks are small and localized, confined perhaps to a single building or organization. Others span entire countries, continents even, forming the backbone of this intricate digital tapestry. And it's the seamless interaction between these networks, large and small, that gives rise to the internet as we know it. Now, this grand interconnectedness we call the internet didn't simply spring into existence overnight. It evolved gradually, driven by the ingenuity of countless individuals and the insatiable human desire to share information. The seeds were sown in the 1960s with the development of packet switching, a revolutionary technology that allowed data to be broken down into small packets and transmitted independently across networks. This, in turn, led to the creation of ARPANET, a project funded by the US Department of Defense to connect research institutions and military installations. ARPANET was the precursor to the internet as we know it, a proving ground for the protocols and technologies that would eventually connect the world. But it wasn't until the 1990s, with the advent of the World Wide Web, that the internet truly began to flourish. The web, with its intuitive interface and hyperlinked documents, made the internet accessible to the masses. No longer the exclusive domain of academics and tech wizards, it became a public forum, a marketplace of ideas, a global stage for human interaction. And transform it did. The internet has permeated every aspect of modern life, from the way we communicate and consume information, to the way we work, learn, and even form relationships. Remember newspapers? Those bulky bundles of paper delivered to your doorstep. Today, we get our news instantly, from countless sources around the globe, delivered straight to our smartphones. The same goes for shopping, entertainment, education. You name it, the internet has revolutionized it. We can purchase goods from across the world with a few clicks, stream movies and music on demand, and even earn degrees from prestigious universities without ever setting foot in a physical classroom. The internet has broken down geographical barriers, connecting people from all walks of life in ways unimaginable just a few decades ago. It has democratized knowledge, giving anyone with an internet connection access to a wealth of information previously locked away in libraries and universities. It has empowered individuals, giving them a voice in the global conversation and a platform to share their ideas with the world. Now, one might assume that a system as vast and influential as the internet would require a central authority, a governing body to maintain order and enforce rules. But that, my friends, is where the real peculiarity of the internet lies. You see, the internet in its very essence is decentralized. There is no single entity, no emperor or empress who dictates how the internet operates. It's more akin to a vast, self-organizing network of independent entities, each playing their part to keep the information flowing. Think of it as a global village, rather than a rigidly controlled city-state. This decentralized structure is, in many ways, one of the internet's greatest strengths. It makes it incredibly resilient, resistant to censorship, and fosters innovation by allowing anyone anywhere to contribute to its development. But as with any complex system, there are inherent challenges in managing such a diverse and distributed network. So how, you might ask, does the internet function without descending into utter chaos? Well, it relies on a shared set of principles, a common language that allows different networks to communicate and cooperate. These principles are enshrined in a series of technical standards and protocols, constantly evolving through the collaborative efforts of engineers and computer scientists worldwide. One such organization dedicated to maintaining this delicate balance is the Internet Engineering Task Force, or IETF. They are the unsung heroes of the internet, working tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that the networks can seamlessly exchange data, regardless of their physical location or underlying infrastructure. Another crucial aspect of internet governance is the management of its address space. The guardians of the web. ICANN is responsible for coordinating the assignment of these unique identifiers, ensuring that every website, every email address has its rightful place in the digital landscape. They are the custodians of the internet's address book, so to speak, and their role is vital in maintaining the global reach and interoperability of the web. Now, it's important to note that both IETF and ICANN operate on the principle of multi-stakeholder governance. This means that decisions are not made by any single government or corporation, but through a consensus-based process involving representatives from various stakeholder groups, including technical experts, civil society organizations, and government agencies. This collaborative approach, while sometimes messy and complex, is crucial in preserving the open and decentralized nature of the internet. It ensures that no single entity can exert undue influence over this vital global resource, and that the interests of all users are taken into consideration. The physical web. Now, for all its ethereal qualities, the internet does have a physical presence. Beneath the surface of our digital interactions lies a sprawling infrastructure of hardware and cables, crisscrossing the globe like the veins and arteries of a living organism. It's a hidden world of blinking lights, humming servers, and data packets hurtling through fiber optic cables at unimaginable speeds. Imagine, if you will, millions of miles of fiber optic cables snaking across ocean floors, connecting continents and carrying the weight of our digital communications. These cables, thinner than a human hair, transmit pulses of light representing bits of data, forming the backbone of the internet's global reach. But it's not just cables. Towering above us are satellites orbiting the Earth, relaying signals between ground stations and extending the Internet's reach to even the most remote corners of the globe. And scattered across cities and countries are countless data centers, vast warehouses filled with rows upon rows of servers storing the information that fuels our digital lives. Layers of complexity. Now, this intricate network of hardware is only half the story. Just as a car needs both an engine and a steering wheel to function, the Internet relies on a complex system of software layers to manage the flow of data and ensure that everything runs smoothly. These software layers, collectively known as the Internet Protocol Suite, act as the rules of the road for digital communication. They define how data is packaged, addressed, and routed across networks, ensuring that your email, for instance, reaches its intended recipient and not someone else's inbox. At the heart of this protocol suite lies the Internet Protocol, or IP, which assigns a unique address to every device connected to the Internet. Think of it as the postal code of the digital world, allowing data packets to be routed efficiently across networks. The beauty of this system, this intricate dance of hardware and software, is that it all happens seamlessly, invisibly to the end user. When you click on a link or send an email, you don't need to think about the underlying infrastructure, the millions of lines of code, the countless routers and servers working tirelessly to fulfill your request. It's a testament to the ingenuity of countless engineers, programmers, and technicians who have dedicated their lives to building and maintaining this global network. They are the unsung heroes of the digital age, working tirelessly behind the scenes to keep the information flowing and connect us all in this vast digital tapestry. And what a tapestry it is. The Internet has become a global stage for human expression, a platform for sharing ideas, connecting with loved ones, and building communities across geographical boundaries. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity and collaboration, a force for both good and ill, shaping the world in profound and unpredictable ways. However, even as we marvel at the wonders of the Internet, we must not shy away from its darker aspects. Like any powerful tool, the Internet can be used for both good and ill. And as we've seen time and again, the very technologies that connect us can also be exploited to divide, manipulate, and inflict harm. The Internet, for all its virtues, has become a breeding ground for cybercrime. Hackers, driven by motives ranging from financial gain to political disruption, exploit vulnerabilities in software and human behavior to steal data, disrupt services, and sow chaos. From identity theft and financial fraud to ransomware attacks and election interference, the list of cyber threats seems to grow longer by the day. And as our reliance on the Internet deepens, so too does our vulnerability to these digital dangers. Now, you might be thinking, Albert, isn't it a good thing that we're teaching young people to code? Aren't they the future innovators who will shape the digital world for the better? And to that, I would say yes, absolutely. Encouraging digital literacy and fostering the next generation of tech talent is essential. However, we must also acknowledge the potential downsides of this trend. By introducing coding at increasingly younger ages, we're essentially handing over the keys to a powerful and complex system to individuals whose brains are still developing, whose moral compasses are not yet fully formed. Young people, bless their hearts, are often driven by impulsivity, a desire for instant gratification, and a still developing sense of consequence. While most will use their newfound coding skills for good, there will inevitably be those who succumb to temptation, who use their knowledge for mischief, or worse, malicious intent. A looming crisis. And let's not forget the psychological and social implications of this digital immersion. As we spend more and more time online, interacting with avatars and algorithms rather than flesh and blood humans, we risk losing touch with the nuances of face-to-face communication, the empathy and understanding that comes from real-world interactions. The internet, for all its wonders, can also be a breeding ground for isolation, anxiety, and depression. The constant barrage of information, the pressure to maintain an online persona, the fear of missing out, all of these factors can take a toll on our mental well-being. We are, in essence, facing a crisis of our own making. By rushing headlong into the digital age without fully considering the consequences, we've created a world where our very humanity is at stake. A world where our thoughts, our emotions, our very identities are increasingly mediated by algorithms and vulnerable to exploitation. The multi-web solution. Now, before we succumb to despair, let me offer a glimmer of hope. For just as a city planner might address overcrowding and congestion by designing separate zones for different functions, residential, commercial, industrial, so too might we consider a similar approach to the internet. Imagine, if you will, not one World Wide Web, but many. A network of interconnected yet distinct digital realms, each tailored to a specific purpose and governed by its own set of rules and regulations. This is the concept of the multi-web, a bold vision for a more secure, equitable and humane digital future. Now, I understand this might sound like something out of a science fiction novel, but consider the alternative. A single, overcrowded and increasingly vulnerable digital city, struggling to cope with the ever-growing demands of its inhabitants. The multi-web, while undoubtedly a complex undertaking, offers a potential solution to many of the challenges we face today. Prioritizing safety and access. Let's start with the most pressing issue: security. By segmenting the internet into specialized webs, we can significantly reduce the attack surface for cybercriminals. A medical web, for instance, could be heavily fortified, with access restricted to authorized healthcare professionals and patient data encrypted to the highest standards. Similarly, a financial web could implement robust security protocols to protect against fraud and money laundering. By limiting access to sensitive information and transactions, we can create digital safe havens for critical infrastructure and services. But the multi-web is not just about security, it's also about creating a more equitable and accessible digital landscape. Imagine an educational web, free from distractions and harmful content, where students of all ages and backgrounds can access high-quality learning resources tailored to their individual needs. Or consider a social web designed to foster meaningful connections and civil discourse, with safeguards in place to combat cyberbullying, hate speech, and the spread of misinformation. By creating digital spaces that prioritize well-being and inclusivity, we can unlock the full potential of the internet for good. Now, I realize that implementing such a radical transformation of the internet will be no easy feat. It will require collaboration on an unprecedented scale, involving governments, tech companies, civil society organizations, and individuals around the world. But just as the internet itself was once a radical idea, a dream shared by a handful of visionaries, so too can the multi-web become a reality if we dare to imagine a different digital future. A future where the internet is not a source of fear and division, but a tool for empowerment, connection, and progress. This, my friends, is the challenge before us. To shape the internet in our own image, to create a digital world that reflects our values and aspirations. It will be a long and arduous journey, but the destination is well worth the effort. For the sake of our children, our future, and the very soul of humanity, we must strive to build a better internet, a more humane internet, a multi-web that empowers us all. As we've journeyed through the intricate workings of the internet, its profound impact on society, and the challenges it poses, one thing has become abundantly clear. The current model, while groundbreaking in its time, is struggling to keep pace with the demands of our increasingly digital world. Like a bustling city bursting at its seams, the internet is grappling with issues of security, privacy, misinformation, and digital well-being. But rather than succumbing to pessimism, let us embrace the spirit of innovation that birthed the internet in the first place. The concept of the multi-web, while perhaps daunting in its scope, presents a compelling vision for a more secure, equitable and humane digital future. Imagine a world where we can harness the power of the internet for good, while mitigating the risks that currently plague it. Picture this: children learning and playing in safe, curated online environments, free from the threats of cyberbullying and harmful content. Medical professionals accessing secure networks to share sensitive patient data and collaborate on life-saving treatments. Researchers around the globe working together in real time. Their collective knowledge propelling scientific breakthroughs at an unprecedented pace. The multi-web empowers us with choice. No longer confined to a single monolithic digital landscape, we can choose the online experiences that align with our values, our needs and our aspirations. Want to engage in lively political discourse? There's a web for that. Prefer to connect with fellow artists and share your creative endeavors? There's a web for that too. This segmentation allows for specialized governance structures and regulations tailored to the specific purpose of each web. A medical web, for instance, could have stricter privacy protocols and data security measures than a social networking web. The key is to strike a balance between freedom and responsibility, fostering innovation while safeguarding against harm. Imagine a world where parents can feel confident allowing their children to explore the online world, knowing they are protected from inappropriate content and predatory behavior. A world where individuals can engage in meaningful online interactions without fear of harassment or abuse. A world where our digital identities are secure, our privacy respected, and our data treated with care. This vision, while ambitious, is not unattainable. Just as the internet itself emerged from the collaborative efforts of countless individuals, so too will the multi-web require a global, multi-stakeholder approach. Governments, tech companies, civil society organizations and individuals must come together to lay the groundwork for this new digital paradigm. It will require open dialogue, a willingness to compromise, and a shared commitment to building a better future for all. It will necessitate the development of new technologies, the establishment of new governance structures, and a fundamental shift in how we think about the internet and its role in our lives. The path forward will not be easy, but the stakes are too high to ignore. The future of our digital lives, and indeed the future of humanity itself, may very well depend on our ability to reimagine the internet, not as a single sprawling entity, but as a network of interconnected, purpose-built spaces, each designed to serve the needs of its users while safeguarding their well-being. Let us together embark on this journey towards a multi-web, a digital world that reflects the best of humanity. Our creativity, our compassion, and our boundless capacity for innovation. Thank you for listening to Albert's Thoughts. Albert has always been a mysterious figure, wandering through the mist, sharing his eerie whispers with those who dare to listen. For more from Albert the Ghost, you can subscribe to our channel or check out one of our other videos. Remember, in the world of the unknown, it's important to take care of each other. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep exploring the mysteries.